So, in response to some of the claims made by Axel, I want to point out that first of all, one of his examples was an 8-year-old who killed his mother. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's not normal. 8-year-olds shouldn't have those inclinations, and to me, that's something that can be maybe a sign of early mental illness. Jealousy should not be that strong, and you shouldn't want to go kill your mother. Now, if, let's say, this 8-year-old was put into a juvenile prison, most juvenile prisons, like I said before, are not fit to handle the mentally ill. According to lawyer David Gottsman in his article Juvenile Justice in the U.S., he states that proper treatment and rehabilitative services can help many youth currently in the juvenile system become healthy and productive members of society. But as I said before, there's about 50% of juvenile systems don't offer these counselor services that these children are needing. He also writes that reform efforts must place greater focus on improving access to mental health services for all youth. A lot of these violent crimes that are coming from youth stem from something deeper. And this is a big case on mental health, which is why so much emphasis is put on putting them into facilities that offer the help that they need. Further than this, Lindsay Kramer writes in her article, Pros and Cons of the Juvenile Justice System, that oftentimes juveniles who are charged as children, these offenders are released from detention centers when they turn 18 or 21, regardless of the typical incarceration time for their crimes. So when they're charged as a child, once they hit that age, they're re-released. And if they're being put into centers that are not dealing with their underlying issues, then it's just more likely that they're going to be re-released and commit crimes that are even more dangerous. That being said, there is they made the point that there's a lot of nonviolent offenders that are being accused. It is becoming more difficult, however, to charge juveniles as adults. In an article titled Juveniles Tried as Adults, What Happens When Children Go to Prison, it has been stated that since 2005, 29 states and Washington, D.C. have passed laws to make it more difficult to prosecute and sentence juveniles as adults, including raising the age required for adult prosecution and establishing alternatives to detention. So there is an effort being made to kind of deter these nonviolent acts from being put to criminal cases or criminal courts. That being said, these underage children that are at the age of 15, 16 that are committing these violent crimes need to continue to be put into criminal courts because they need to be put in these federal prisons. Because violent crime rates and juvenile crime have been in a steady decline over the past 20 years, according to Nicole Scalaba in her article, Should Juveniles Be Charged as Adults in Criminal Justice System? She makes this point because ever since that 1990 spike in violent crimes, when children have been able to be put in these crimes, or be put in these courts, they have been on a decline and we need to continue to keep that up. Thank you.